Sag, welcome to your in-depth reading for yours and theirs. Like always, we're going to start by putting down the baseline for you, your person, the situation, clarify, and then towards the end put down oracles as well. And like always, your person doesn't have to be a significant other, spouse, boyfriend, girlfriend, lover type situation. It's whomever fits that dynamic or doesn't. So take what resonates, leave what does not, and reverse energies as it applies, more so with yours and theirs, as energy exchange interchange is real rapid and fluid. These are general collective readings, not one-to-one private. I have to say all this, guys, because people can and will take offense if it's not their reading, instead of just checking the placements as advised. But there you go. I like to be able to refer people back to the opening in case there's any questions or confusion regarding that. I know the vast majority of you know, and you're pretty good about it, you know? But yeah, it just helps. It just helps. What's going on, please? Show me Sag in their person. Show me Sag in their person. Show me Sag in their person. Show me Sag in their person, please. What's going on, please, for Sag in their person? Show me Sag in their person, please. Okay. The Knight of Cups, the Five of Cups, the Five of Pentacles. It's like it's unfortunate that it has to be this way. That's a lot of sadness there, pain. The two worst fives, the Five of Cups, Five of Pentacles. You know, Five of Wands, you can handle that. It's an energy that's normal for you, okay? And I hate the Five of Swords, but those two together, that's a bit much. You're hurt. You're hurt. Your love was going in a particular direction in some way. The Knight of Cups wanted to express himself to somebody somewhere. Perhaps you did. But the emotional flow says this was going outside of me, and I am separated from it now. Five of Cups and the Five of Pentacles, and it hurts like hell. It does. Okay. Okay, let's keep going. Let's see that. Okay, Two of Swords, the Nine of Swords, the Hanged Man. That's blindness, stress, anxiety. I don't know, I don't know, I don't know, I don't know. I don't know, I don't know, I don't know, I don't know. I don't know, I don't know, I don't know, I don't know. Stress, mental stress. The Hanged Man. At least to that person's credit, they're trying to go upside down to understand this, where the stress is all coming from, what it has led up to and why. Okay, the Hermit, death. So you two have tried to make up before. Make up, I'm using that term loosely. You two have tried to heal things before, and you might still again. We'll see. The Hermit, death, temperance. There's you. All things are possible, but we'll see. This might have been one too many times to try to fix this. I don't know. Those two I trust much more in healing than anything else, especially the Four of Swords. These two trump both of those concepts. So you got death right in the middle, so it's either a transformative concept in healing. In order for the healing to really stick for a proposed next time, it has to be transformative healing on both sides. It has to mean something deeply to the both of you in terms of investment. So I can tell you two have tried to approach healing in the past already. It didn't work, or it didn't take. We'll see why. So the idea is if there's a proposition here for trying to heal this at all, the construct of healing, as you both understand it, will have to transform, or it needs to be left alone. Typically when people try to heal something like this, and it doesn't take, usually that's what you need to know. However, if two people are willing to transform how they're approaching healing, because maybe one person wasn't entirely invested, one person wasn't entirely insightful, somebody wasn't willing to walk the path of putting the work, then you can have transformative healing, assuming two people are on the same page with the same construct and the same goal behind it. This is terribly interesting. I cannot wait to clarify that. Overview, the Wheel of Fortune. We're going to need some time. Or time's up, or you've had plenty of time. Let's take a look. Let's see how it's pointing, or if it's still spinning, or if it has stopped. Let's see that Wheel of Fortune for you. Ooh, major, 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 major. Okay. Let's see that Wheel of Fortune, please. Let's see that Wheel of Fortune. Let's see that Wheel of Fortune, please. Let's see that Wheel of Fortune. Show me the Wheel of Fortune. Show me the Wheel of Fortune, please. Show me the Wheel of Fortune. Okay. The Ace of Wands, Eight of Cups, Six of Swords. Time has passed. Time has passed. The Wheel of Fortune. The cards are showing me, and I'm leaning towards, and it's looking like the Sag I'm looking at, you're leaning towards, this is an impossible renewal. And frankly, I don't think you want to. You're so emotionally tapped out from this. This Eight of Cups is here. Emotionally, you've walked. Mentally, you've walked. Physically, I don't know. But the Ace of Wands, trying to give this a renewal shot, hope. Ace of Wands in the sense of hope. I don't have hope for this. And frankly, even if I did, I don't know that I can emotionally engage with it. You know how it is, you can really, really hope for something, but you've hoped for it so long that you no longer have the emotional attachment to it. So you can see the prospects of an Ace of Wands, but if you have no feeling for it, then it's the Ace of Wands that you're not particularly attracted to anymore. And that means hope, not just attraction as in passion. We got to get out of that box. Hope. The idea of having hope for this drains you so much emotionally and mentally. You had to learn this over time with the Wheel of Fortune, so you've had constant exposure to this. You're like, yeah, there's Ace of Wands again. So like I said, go back to what I was saying over here. You guys have tried this before with whatever this is. Healed it, tried to. Healing didn't take, and now we're back in the same good situation. So like I said, I have no problem with healing. But if you both gave it a damn good shot, or tried to, or at least one person did, and it didn't take, how we're approaching healing needs to change. It has to be transformative, or we don't try it again. And you already showed me time has passed, and whatever renewal there was for this, the inspiration, the ignition, the hope, emotional checked out, mentally checked out. You don't seem to be interested is my point. Are you physically still attached to this? That's my concern. You're showing me a lot of pain and loss, and you're like, I don't ever want to be hurt like this again. It's been drug out way too long, and I agree. Let's see that Knight of Cups, please. Let's see that Knight of Cups. Let's see that Knight of Cups. Let's see that Knight of Cups. Let's see that Knight of Cups, please. The Queen of Cups, the Seven of Cups. Oh, God dang. Damn. You might have a lot of water in your chart, FYI. Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. Whatever this is, you loved it so much. It's almost like you're saying it embarrassed you how much you loved it. And it confused you sometimes, don't get me wrong. It confused you. I think what confused you the most, honey Sag, is how much you loved it. That's what I think confused you. Because very rarely do we see the Queen of Cups attached to the Seven. The Queen and King, the advantage, okay? All suites, all elements have pros and cons. But the King and Queen of Cups, by far, their pro is that emotional confusion isn't their gig. Once they say, I love this and I know I do. Or I hate this and I know I do. That's it. That's the benefit of being them. That's their biggest pro by far, is that they're not shy about their feelings. They take a lot of ownership in it. And your emotions pointed at this person clearly, strongly. It wanted to move forward. And it even confused you why you wanted it so much and why you felt towards it so much. And you felt towards it so much, honey. And I understand. I do. I really do understand this. Your Knight of Cups, which is responsible for sending our stuff outside of us. You expressed to yourself this person as best you could. You expressed your love. You acted through love, more to the point. You always showed up for it emotionally. You were never absent from it. That's a huge point right here. Water, 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 water. When it was time to show up for this person, you showed the up. Your heart was dressed to the nines for this person. You understand me? I think the only reason you're showing me Seven of Cups confusion is confused you how much you loved it and how strong your heart was towards it. You're like, I have no idea why I love this so much. I gotta go towards it. So when I tell you, you no longer have emotional hope towards this, I can kind of see why. Look at how strongly you started out for it. And say that time has passed and I can't clock in like this anymore. There's a reason why. You poured so much of it. You love this of your own free will. You felt it naturally, perhaps too naturally. And that in and of itself probably didn't make any sense to you. Like, I have no idea why my feelings for this person are so strong, Christina. Just know that they are. And I expressed it as best I could. And when I showed up, I showed the fuck up and I meant it. I hear you. I got you. I got you. I highly value an unapologetic heart. I do. Because at least you know the sincerity was real. On your side. So there's nothing wrong with a sword approach. There's nothing wrong with a fire approach. There's nothing wrong with a pentacle approach. But people who show up from the heart first, and they mean it, they know they mean it. Those are my kind of people. Because you know what you're getting. There's nothing insincere about that. Let's see that Five of Cups, please. Let's see that Five of Cups. Let's see that Five of Cups. It hurt. Five of Cups, Five of Pentacles. The Nine of Pentacles, the Eight of Swords, the Ace of Pentacles. You kind of lost sight of yourself in this, wanting it to be more than it was. So let's just say it for what it is. That's fine. There's nothing wrong with being honest. If you can be so emotionally honest with this, then you can be mentally honest with yourself too. When you were participating in this, I'm not saying your feelings were wrong. No, when you love something or someone that much and you know it, there's nothing wrong with that. You being left to wait in a place of, I don't know what I am in this, that's where we went wrong. Okay. Five of Cups, it took away from you. The Nine of Pentacles, your sense of self specifically, your own experience. You're strong enough, you're experienced enough to kind of know what this was, but we kind of ignored it with the Eight of Swords. You didn't want to see how it was taken away from you. Like I said, you can love somebody that much with that much conviction, but that doesn't mean the connection was correct, or the output, or what you were receiving or not receiving in return was correct. You have to understand this. That's the downside to having all that water, is we think because we love something or someone so much, it's supposed to be returned to us, and that's where we get resentful and bitter, and you don't want that. So you can have, I know it seems strange, but it's true. You can have that strong recognition of love for someone and also know that it's not being returned, and it's probably not going to be. If you have to lose sight of yourself in the process, no amount of love can be worth it. I'm sorry, but also not sorry. That's the thing about being water-oriented. Remember, pros and cons? That's the con. That's the con. They're living through your heart. Because it might mean a lot to you, doesn't mean it has the same value placed on you in return. You have to understand that. You lost sight of this. Literally. You lost sight of this. You didn't see how the pain was taken away from you. Because you had somewhere in you this floating concept of Ace of Pentacles. There's legitimacy in this. There's a strength of this in there somewhere. If it's taking away from you, no. But you didn't want to see that. Okay? Let's see that Five of Pentacles. And let me make this clearer. It took away from you. When I see that much negativity surrounding your Nine of Pentacles, you're damn right it took away from you. But you didn't want to see that. You thought it would mean something more or mean something more. Legitimacy. That your feelings would be justified. Right? I know. Let's Let's see that Five of Pentacles, please. Let's see that Five of Pentacles. Show me that Five of Pentacles. There's the break. There's the abandonment. Some of you waited blindly for an offer to kind of show the legitimacy of your feelings. It's about to all make sense. I know it. I know it. I know it. It's going to make sense. It's going to make sense. And it didn't. The more you stayed in that stuckness of confusion, the bigger that Ace of Pentacle got in your mind. It'll all make sense in the end. There'll be more to work with in time. I know it. I know it. And all the while, it just hurts you more and more. Let's see that Five of Pentacles, the Knight of Pentacles, the Queen of Swords, Three of Swords. There's the acknowledgement. This is bullshit. Yeah, I gotta agree. There's the acknowledgement. Again, that took time. The Knight of Pentacles, Wheel of Fortune, time. Queen of Swords, there's the ownership. This hurts. Three of Swords. This hurts, and it's been hurting. I call bullshit. I got a break from this. I must have been out of my mind. I must have been crazy. No, honey, it was pain and blindness, and it's like, the more this hurts, the more I got to make it worth it. I got to stay in there. Something will pay out for me in the long term. I know it. It'll mean more. I know it from them. I think you wanted this to mean more to them, and you kept waiting for proof, but you didn't see that you were waiting. Kept you like this, that there was no proof. No proof was coming anytime soon that this meant more to them. And that's why it started to detract from you and take away from you. I'm not trying to put them in asshole status. I just see the process. That you waiting around for this for proof that there's more to it, that it meant more for them. That's what got you into trouble. Not your heart. Your heart is why you decided to stay in it. But when you get to that point where you're waiting for something to show up, and it saddens you more and more that it's not, that's how you know your heart might be in the right place, but that doesn't mean theirs is. Or that they even acknowledge it the same way. There's the acknowledgement. And there you are, pulling rank. What the hell am I doing? What the hell am I doing? This hurts. How much time has gone by? This is bullshit. You're right, it is. Break. You were maybe perhaps cold. And you might have even been harsh. The Five of Pentacles is no easy thing to do, to either give or to receive. But it was done because you understand fundamentally how this was hurting you, and it was a long time coming. I know it hurt, but look at your opening, honey. They're just confirming that opening. Look at how long. There's a reason why you're exhausted, and you don't want to give this another shot. So, okay, that answered my question about the physicality. I don't see you physically connected to it either. Not at this time. And nor should it be. Nor should it be. We had enough evidence, yeah? Accepting the evidence, that's something else altogether. Okay. A lot of confusion comes from this person. Mental anguish, anxiety, stress, the Hanged Man. Trying to gain insight and or perspective on this. Two of Swords. Show me that Two of Swords. Show me that Two of Swords. Show me that Two of Swords. The Fool. The Five of Swords. The Knight of Cups. Oh dear. They said they didn't want your love, they lied. They said, I didn't know this was coming. I didn't know Sag was going to love me. Bullshit, they knew. I wasn't hoping this would happen. Bullshit, they wanted to receive the best of your feeling and deny its plausibility or arrival at the same time. You don't get to have it both ways. You don't get to have it both ways. They act like they have a right to be confused. I'm confused. I didn't know Sag was going to feel like that. Bullshit. Not only did they know you felt that way, they wanted you to. That's manipulation. Then they get to plausible deniability, as we call it. If I give myself an escape route, I never wanted those feelings, then, you know, when they finally get confronted with the feelings that they wanted to happen, but act like they didn't, they have plausible deniability. That's the difference between desiring somebody's feelings and taking responsibility for them. They wanted the emotions. There's your knight. I told you, you expressed yourself wholeheartedly to this person. It was real and sincere. There's that same knight deploying to them. What are you talking about? I was never open to that. We both knew it. How could I hurt you? I never wanted your feelings. Yes, they did. They wanted the pleasure of your feelings without, again, the responsibility or ownership of them. They wanted to be able to say it was never like that and it was never my intention. That's conquering somebody's feelings because you can, not because you actually want them or to take responsibility for them. They don't see that. They're saying that I'm confused. I wasn't expecting anything from you. I wasn't expecting you to love me. I didn't want that to happen. I didn't want Sag to open up towards me. I didn't want that. Let's see that Nine of Swords, please. Let's see that Nine of Swords. Let's see that Nine of Swords. Let's see that Nine of Swords. Let's see that Nine of Swords, please. Let's see that Nine of Swords, please. And also, P.S. I don't have those feelings in return. Also a lie. I wasn't trying to. Just trying to have some fun. Open up a little bit. No big deal. It wasn't supposed to be all that. They knew what they were doing. They desired your feelings, but also wanted the opportunity to reject them simultaneously and say that was never the case. You know? Five of Wands, the Hierophant, the Page of Cups. That's what I'm talking about. This person's... they could never give themselves permission to stop fighting themselves. They actually wanted to open their heart towards this. This is what happens when, I don't know that they were manifesting, but this is kind of like an example of manifestation. We really want something, but if we're not prepared for it mentally or emotionally, we'll end up rejecting it and say we never wanted it. So this person very much desired your feeling. I see them drawing it in, but then saying that never was meant to happen. They wanted access to your feelings without having the responsibility of returning them or owning that you had any. Well, you shouldn't. If you had feelings, that's your fault. I wasn't trying to do that. Yeah, they did. But they were too busy denying it with the Five of Wands. The Hierophant, guys, is not just commitment to marriage. It's commitment to the higher self, commitment to anything about ourselves. This person, in order to understand that they wanted to open up their feelings, I don't give a damn how small it was, they had to give themselves permission to do it. They have a very strong sense of permission element, and they rejected it every step of the way. Five of Wands. I want to be open towards this. No, I don't. And now the stress is, well, you reap what you sow. If that's their particular fallout, that's their thing they got to deal with. That they're sorting that shit out, and it's separate from you. That's not your problem. You already did the hard thing. You already came to terms with your side of the bullshit equation. Okay. And your conclusion is your conclusion. If you were harsh with it, again, they brought that on themselves. They wanted you to believe they didn't feel the same way they did. And they also acted like they weren't playing with your emotions, coaxing them out. I want Sag to have feelings for me, but as soon as they admit it, I don't want to be able to say I'm part of it or that I feel the same. It's bullshit. It's emotional manipulation. I don't know why they wanted to conquer your feeling or have your feelings pointed at them just so they could turn around and reject it, but that's what they did. And then it's like, I never wanted this. They didn't want ownership of it. So again, this is a person that wants the taste, but they don't want the responsibility of buying the whole fucking cake. See what I'm saying? I want to taste the cake. That, I guess, you get that cake, eat it too bullshit. And this is what gets people into trouble. They I don't know. I don't know, honey. Perhaps they were, let's take it to the cake analogy. Sure, why not? Okay. Why not? People love that expression. So let's take it to the cake. Let's say you're this gorgeous, beautiful, emotional cake. Beautiful, lovely, emotional cake. And you have no problem expressing your heart so long as it's pointed in the direction that you feel comfortable and you really mean it. And your good-looking, emotional cake is sitting in that fine-ass window display. Okay? You're a beautiful, well-composed cake. Emotional. You love yourself. You love your little cake friends. Okay. You love the little cake business that you're in because it's successful and thriving. Your heart space is huge, right? Okay. Somebody's walking by that cake shop, say, hey, look at that good-looking cake in the window. Mm-hmm. Other people seem to like that cake. And it is a good-looking cake. It seems to be happy. It's smiling. Oh, did it just smile at me? Oh, shit. Did that Sag cake give me some attention? And they meant it. You mean they like me? I mean, I'm not really in the position for that. But I am walking by the cake shop and that cake smiled at me. I know it smiled at me. So, maybe, you know what? It's a cake shop. They seem pretty emotionally generous. Maybe they'll just give something away. Maybe they do samples. I'll take a sample. You know what? I'm going to take a sample. That's the equivalent of tasting it. Tastes pretty fucking good. But it's just a sample. So imagine the same person going by the cake shop, seeing you, and you smile at them every day because you generally like to smile at them every day. You feel good about them because they come by and see you fairly frequently. And they take a sample every day. And they enjoy that sample every day. But did you ever notice they don't actually take you out of the shop and commit to the whole cake that is you? No. And now you're out of samples. This is, like I said, the con to having that kind of pro. Being so emotionally open, vulnerable, and generous. You love who you love, and you weren't shy about it. And they took the natural love you had and wanted to absorb some of it, but be able to say that wasn't the objective. It wasn't my objective to take so many samples from you. I might as well have bought the damn cake, but no, I don't want that responsibility. I don't want the receipt. I don't want to have to put that kind of money down. I just wanted to come by and get a sample. That's what this is. And they fought themselves about giving more emotionally and committing to giving more, to having an open heart, the stress of it. They themselves want to open their heart open more, but they won't admit it to themselves. That's stress. The fighting it, I won't do it. I'm not going to commit to it. I'm not going to open myself up like that. And you know what? I don't want any of that anyway. I just wanted a sample. Why am I in trouble for a sample? You see what I'm saying? It's like that. I don't like seeing manipulation crossed over the heart space. Somebody's acting like they're open to receiving it, but they weren't. They acted like they couldn't see any of it. How convenient. I didn't realize I was taking so many samples. Oh my God, I'm so embarrassed. I'm such a pig. That's why I'm having a problem with it right now. I don't. Emotional manipulation pisses me off, especially when you were so open-hearted with them. How did they not see that? Because they didn't want to. It wouldn't have been convenient to their particular paradigm. Two of Swords. It's much more convenient to be blind. Sorry, I don't mean to be going on and on about it. I just want you to know that this sense of you being so hard on yourself and being upset, you can lighten that the fuck up, okay? You can lighten that up. I'm glad you took responsibility. You did the right thing over here, even if you were harsh. You know what? They had it coming. And if you want to say you didn't, you're not saying the same thing I am. No, I understand if you were a little harsh. It makes sense now. It does. It took time, too. You know? Because here's what they failed to understand. Not only were you the good-looking cake in the window, it was your fucking shop. You were running the joint. They didn't see that. They saw what they wanted to see in the window. You were giving out samples. Hey, if you have that much love, you're probably giving out samples to other people, right? What if I take some? So I can kind of see why here in the opening you were confused by how much you love them. It didn't even make sense to you, but it was real and it was honest. All right, the Hanged Man. Let's see if this person has learned anything. They're currently in upside down perspective. You know, yeah, they wanted to open up their heart, but tell that to somebody who's too busy resisting it every step of the way. And that, you know, again, the people who suffer the Five of Swords the most are the people who need to see it the most, and they're most likely to reject it. So, okay. Page of Pentacles, the Four of Wands, the Ace of Wands. This person's interested in renewing the relationship with you. It's under contemplation. There's that renewal energy that you opened up with. They're contemplating it with the Hanged Man. Page of Pentacles, there's a little bit. I wonder if I gave a little bit more of myself realistically to this. Could I reconstitute the relationship? I hope they enjoyed their sample, because they ain't learned shit. I can, maybe if I put a little bit of myself into this, Sag will totally be into renewal relationship. Oh, so it's nice of them to admit that they had a relationship with you. They're authorizing some sort of page, or they're contemplating the authorization of the page. Just a little bit to get it going. Just a little bit. I'll give them a little taste back. Oh, how generous. Oh, how generous compared to where you were. What you're no longer interested in, and what they're finally willing to possibly part ways with. I'll put a little bit of myself constructively. But they're thinking about it. They're thinking about it. I'll be reading this person for a while. The lack of insight, self-awareness, what they did, how they did it, how they went about doing it over a long period of time. I should have seen something else very different on their Hanged Man. Very different. Like heavy contemplation, ownership, none of that. Just if I give a little bit more, maybe Sag might look at me again. We can renew this. I can admit. Okay, even though I wasn't trying, I can admit there might have been a relationship, maybe. Yeah, those samples add up, don't they? When you realize somebody was actually living and loving through their heart versus bullshit manipulation, and you can't put a price on that level of authenticity, I bet you do start missing it. Samples add up, guys. Remember that. In love and in calories. So, if you're not into empty calories, I know I'm not. I think you already know if that page ever drops, and that's the lack of humility and lack of ownership, the lack of insight is astounding. Let's jump on over here. I can tell that there's a reason you're showing me high levels of exhaustion. I will never come back to this again. Because it tells me you two tried to crack at this at healing before. Okay. If there was some sort of admission here about the truth, how they essentially used your emotions and then acted like they didn't. That they themselves wanted to open their heart space towards you, but they were too busy denying it. If there was some sort of insight, I'd be like, you know what, good job. But it's like a little bit of Page of Pentacles. Maybe if I give a little, I can get this back. Maybe. I'll think about it. I'm going to be thinking about it for a long time. I'll be reading this person much later down the road. I have no doubt of this. Let's see that Hermit, please. Let's see that Hermit, please. Like I said, you can't put a price on this level of emotional authenticity. It kind of tells me what the real world is like and how people probably aren't very emotionally deep. Or they don't lead through the heart first or something like that, that they can treat emotions so casually, so flimsy, so on the surface. That's probably what their day-to-day like is with a lot of folks. They only give as much as they need to and not a penny more, that kind of thing. When you're really emotionally dedicated to somebody, it shows, and you can't put a price on that. Ace of Cups, Two of Pentacles, the Five of Cups. You're saying fool me once? Okay. Yeah, you did try to give your heart to this person, but there wasn't a take. The Hermit, and you're trying to consolidate your... This is something you've already processed, and you're going to continue to process for a minute about that Five of Cups and the confusion and the reality of it, and It probably didn't mean the same thing. I was putting myself into it and I shouldn't have. It wasn't clear. The feelings were never clear. Why did I put myself into it? I was way too open-hearted with them. So you went from very soft and loving and vulnerable to them and expressive to cold, harsh, out, that kind of thing. And again, they brought that on themselves, so I want you to stop feeling bad about that. And if they don't know that, I mean, hello again, that speaks to their lack of insight. You know, I'm just glad that it caught on to you at some point. That's all. This needed to end. And you've been trying to consolidate yourself towards this. And what does that say about my heart and how I love this? Because you're saying, generally speaking, you're an emotionally loving person. Being led through the heart, you said it typically works for you more often than not. But in this particular instance, you felt it was used against you. I can kind of see why. Yeah. I can kind of see why. Yeah, you've been trying to heal that with yourself first. And like I said, everything begins with the self, so you're showing me strong healing elements within you, as well as rhyme, rationality, reason, logic. So when you put all those magnificent emotions aside, you're showing me someone who has learned what they needed to learn, even if it meant getting your ass kicked. Okay? All right. Let's say death here. You're telling me the... Yeah, okay. You're telling me the responsibility here. So when I say in situations like this, do the work you wish the other person hadn't. Don't point it at them and say, if it weren't for you, this, that, and the other. No, take responsibility for your own shit. And that's what you're doing. Okay. It's like, you know what? That one's on me. Because you have to give yourself closure in situations like this, because they don't seem to be interested in giving you closure. They seem to be interested in figuring out how they might be able to get something more from you later after they've kind of rested and thought about it some more. Okay, let's see death, please. Let's say death, please. Yeah, you've been doing a job, honey. You've been doing a job. Okay. 9 of Pentacles, the 10 of Cups, the 9 of Swords. Yeah. Okay. You've come to terms with the fact you're not going to find emotional equilibrium with this. They're not part of your emotional rainbow. That is the 10 of Cups. They're not a part of your support system if they ever really supported you to begin with. Emotionally, otherwise. That 9 of Pentacles that you said you deceived yourself on. That you kind of blinded yourself to this being more than it was. You're saying that's over. That's done with. That's a harsh acceptance, but I think it's real and it's honest. And given the situation, again, I don't blame you. If it was ever anything more to this person, they failed to tell you that spectacularly because your opinion of them is so low. I mean, it's so low. There's a reason you gave up hope on this. You tried to work things out with this person. You really did. And then you saw that it's either shallow, manipulative, or they really don't give a fuck. Okay. They were just there for the samples. The struggle in their heart is their struggle. It's not yours. Okay. Yours was struggle-free from the very beginning. It only became full of struggle when you started to see more and more what this wasn't, and that it probably didn't mean the same thing. There was no sincerity that you were receiving from this. So yeah, when I say that there's that same 9 of Pentacles, the anxiety about what this says about you is dead. That's good. 9 of Swords, 9 of Pentacles. What does it say about me? That's over. You ain't got to worry about it anymore. You are who you are at the end of the day. And 10 of Cups, realizing that they will never have a place amongst your cups. And it might have been foolish that you ever tried to perceive them that way. That's over. Okay, let's see that Temperance, please. You. Show me that Temperance, please. Show me that Temperance. Let's see Temperance, please. Show me Temperance. Show me Temperance. Show me Temperance. Emotional manipulation is never a good thing, guys. It's never a good thing. The thing is, tell that to somebody who doesn't see it. 2 of Swords. I never wanted Sagittarius love. Yes, I did. For some reason, That's what's interesting to me. They targeted your feelings. Not your sex. Not your connectivity. Not your resources. Your feelings. They wanted the feelings because they desired in you the very thing they themselves are resisting. They wanted to open up towards you emotionally. Couldn't come to terms with it either. But they pulled on your heart like they wanted it. They didn't conquer you physically, sexually, or in terms of finances or anything like that. They wanted your heart. They wanted you to open up towards them. So they can say they didn't, but then they also wanted the safety of saying, no, I didn't. I never intended that. I never meant for that to happen. Yeah, it is. There's not enough temptation in the world for some people. Like I said, if you're not ready for manifestation, you will reject it. So you can desire something. Desire somebody's heart space, but if you're not prepared to receive it, you'll find a way to reject it. Hurt yourself and hurt someone else. They wanted to conquer your heart, and I don't know why. Something about wanting to be able to come back to it again and again, like I said, taking those samples, but without having to commit to the cake, never mind the whole damn shop. It's odd. It's very odd. Temperance, Sun, Seven of Pentacles, Queen of Pentacles. Yeah, this whatever this is, I do see a proposal possibly of trying to reignite interest in this. It's not on your side, it's on theirs. I don't see you going forward or taking for it. You're doing a lovely job of healing. You're very stable. You're very hopeful. You have a bright future ahead of you. And you are very much growing into yourself and the person that you are supposed to be, meant to be, and always were. As just literally, you lost sight of yourself. You kind of put yourself aside, hoping, really hoping that there was something more from this. Whether or not it was from this person, I don't think so. I don't think so. They had to have known that they wanted more in order to generate any sort of activity like that. They struggle with a fucking page, honey. I want Sag to open up to me. Low-key, no I don't. Low-key, yes I do. Low-key, no I don't. I don't want Sag to open me. There was something there about the emotional conquest. It wasn't sexual. That's what's weird. Don't get me wrong, I'm sure there was elements in there. I wanted that emotional conquest. It's safe to open up towards me. It's safe to develop feelings towards me. I want you to put your feelings over here. Put them at me. Make me feel special. Smile at me. Make me feel special. Put your light on me. But at my convenience when I come around the shop. Something like that. I don't. I mean, like I said, there's a reason you did what you did. So, continue to move on. Mind your own healing, mind your own business. Whatever this is not worthy of your time, energy, or effort. Never mind your heart space. Bless you. It was real and authentic for this person. And this is that person that's going to learn the hard way over time what real emotional authenticity is, because it doesn't look like they have it in their real world. If they did, they wouldn't have done this. I'm telling you. If somebody's emotionally... Think about it, guys. If someone's emotionally satisfied in the real world, family, friends, lovers, spouses, they don't do this. This person wanted access to somebody's heart space that was real and authentic. That tells me what they ain't got in their real world. Again, you know, it's not just reading what's there, you read what isn't. People show me holes and gaps in their existence all the time, but they're like, that's not it at all. It's just Sag is good looking, that's all. Look at what you were packing. Look what they were pulling towards them and rejecting at the same time. What does that tell them about their real world? They do not have access to emotional authenticity in a way that makes them feel good, cherished, or loved. And for this, I do feel sorry for them. If you have to manipulate somebody's feelings and act like you're not manipulating their feelings in order to get their attention, retain their feeling, but be able to reject it at the same time, it says volumes. It speaks volumes about the world that they live in and what they don't have, wish they had access to, and do not. Keep the door open. Yeah. Keep the door open. That's up to you. Some of you are thinking about keeping the door open. Stay optimistic, and others of you are insisting upon separation. Again, don't blame me. I am seeing the keep the door open coming from them. Hanged Man, that means not anything, but gaining insight. Maybe if I offer a little something, something, we can regenerate that relationship activity. I believe that's more about them, if I'm being honest with you. I want you to stay optimistic about the separation. In other words, what you did was correct. And the more time passes, the more you will see this. Okay, I don't see you keeping the door open at all. You're nowhere near the damn door. You don't want anything to do with that damn door. And it might be one of the few times the damn door is locked. It's so emotionally and mentally separated from this. And I can tell you why. This person's highly inauthentic and they can't commit to their higher self. Never mind their heart space. Express your love, which you did. It was a magnetic connection. So I know you did your bit. You made that very clear, and they wanted you to, even while they were busy denying that they didn't want that. You know, so again, it kind of tells me what they ain't getting at home or in the real world, family support, whatever. I don't know that this person's very familiar with emotional connectivity that is healthy, abundant, real, and not fake. There's something about that emotional attention that they were so very attracted to, you know? That emotional attention, that's what they wanted. They wanted the special smiles. They wanted the special words. Defenses. Yeah, no shit. New beginning. Defenses were up about that new beginning. New beginning was in the reverse. Defenses were up. There was no really new beginning. Even if you two tried to work things out and heal things before, there was never really any new sense of beginning attached to this. The defenses were always up. It never had a shot in hell. Your divine counterparts. Some of you might feel like that's the case. Well, no drama. Done with the drama here. I completely agree with you. That's that harshness, that cold reality. I'm separating from this. Done. You have zero interest in this. No more drama. Whatever it is you would participate in terms of the drama, whatever it is that they were getting, it caused drama. You weren't trying. You were trying to have a real emotional connection. They were too busy trying to take pieces of it to feel good. So the drama's coming from them. You're like, no more drama, thank you. New beginnings was a joke. Divine counterparts, I don't know. I didn't see anything about soul bond connectivity. I didn't see anything that constituted that. I really don't. Release. Even if you are divine counterparts, release. If it's for you, it will come back in time. A hell of a lot better than a Page of Pentacles to propose. Can we renew this relationship, pretty please? It's going to have to be a bit stronger than that, a bit more authentic than that. Start by not being an emotionally manipulative piece of shit, you know. That's always a good start. When you say you want to be open to something, you're really open towards it, and you don't just accept someone else's feelings, you give yours too. Woo! What an idea! How novel. Okay. You, honey, you need to keep on keeping on. Continue on in your pathway, please. Okay? You become stronger, better, awesome, stingray. Okay, you might have some very strong water in your chart. I saw that at the opening, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. And I'm sure some of you let out quite the stinger for this situation. I see it, but also they had it coming. I very rarely say shit like that. So when I say it, I promise you I mean it. It is the cards, it's the feeling. I promise you, if you stung them, they had it coming. And if they had any sort of insight, they would have said that I had this coming. I was a dick. Or I was a you know what. Are you Sag? And I'm a big boy, I'm a big girl, and I could admit it. Oh, hell no. Lotus, yeah, like I said, some of you have some very prominent Scorpio in your chart. But I do see that that is the beauty of you. That sting, that was a beautiful thing to do for yourself. It was the right thing to do. I completely agree. And I'll be as the lotus flower. Okay. Get back to your place of symmetry and balance of water and beauty and what feeds you. Okay, the seahorse, there's Piscean energy here. Oh, that delicate sense of feeling and balance, vulnerability. The luck of the Irish, 4-leaf clover. We have the medallion of Aquarius. The dragon, see. Yeah, that's another interesting way to put it. So dragonfly, as we know, isn't just a sign of transformation. It's hard transformation. It's really hard transformation, whereas butterfly is a little softer. It takes more time. But the dragonfly, no. It's very hard-wearing transformation. In fact, many would say it's the ultimate representation. It's upside down as it's connected to the world. No hard transformation from this person, and I'm not saying that either. No insight at all. None. It's literally like they're thinking, looking at you, if I just throw them a page, maybe we can make up again. No insight, no development, nothing. Yeah. Even if they're your divine counterpart spiritually, they're not in the 3D. Not at all. Or emotionally. An emotionally developed divine counterpart will tell you how they feel. No excuses, no bullshit. Never mind manipulation. The Eiffel Tower. Some of you might have some very distinct memories of the Eiffel Tower, upcoming memories, future prospects, but also the sense that some of you might feel very, very jaded and that your feelings were wrong. You know, guys, in the Eiffel Tower, it is the real representation of idealistic love and everything that it stands for. You have a lot of that in you. Don't lose sight of that. Okay. Your feelings are naturally strong. You should be proud of them. All right? You know, one sample is enough. Everybody gets one. One sample is enough. That sample alone should have been enough to tell you if you were worth the whole cake or not. They kept coming back. What does that tell them? Or what is that? What should that have told them? I keep coming back to that cake. It wasn't sexual. It was emotional. They wanted the emotionality from you. So what does that tell them? What should that have told them about what they're missing in their own reality and what they kept coming back to from you to get what they were missing? That it was real, strong as hell, and authentic? Or because you're just some emotionally flaky person that gives it out to anybody? No. Okay. I'll tell you, honey, hindsight. But this person's not even in hindsight. They're not even in hindsight. Okay, that's enough of that. Just confirmation of your direction and what you did was the right thing to do. Continue to recover from it. Ease up on yourself. I completely agree with what you did, even if it was a little bit harsh. They had it coming. I'm sorry. Sometimes, honey, that harshness is needed to generate results or change, and it didn't even do that, so I want you to take away some of that sense of guilt for what you did, having to break from this. The only stress I see from them is really self-pity. That's it. Stress for themselves. Self-pity. Anxious about what they're not feeling with you anymore or getting from you anymore. And self-pity. I'm not into that. Neither are you. Okay. Yeah, that's enough of that. I do hope this helped you. And like I said, confirmation of your direction. You did the right thing. Ease up on yourself and continue to exude healing for yourself. Know your worth and never lose sight of that ever again. Retain your sense of self-worth and value at all times, and you will always know the sun and or happiness as it applies directly to you. Sag, I hope this helped you. Put in the comments as you see fit. Take care. Be well.